Alright. Shall we get started?
Turn on the music.
Alright, I forgot.
Musica.
Musica.
La musica.
Brave Master.
Well, actually, weren't we about to leave? So, music would be good for us about to travel. And go with the old favorite. So, quick question. The Ravager is following us, right?
Did you ask him to?
Okay. DC's gonna go back and ask him.
And did you ask the goblin to follow you as well?
She'll ask the goblin to follow her as well.
What's the goblin's name?
Zug.
Zug, zug, zug. Zug, zug, zug,
Zog.
zug, zug.
Need to gather up everybody so I can just copy and paste at my leisure.
I just realized, do we still have the kobold?
Yes, he is in a vase.
Yeah.
Hubert has
Where's
been
said vase? Okay.
Hubert has been taking care of her. Not necessarily well, but well enough. He's been feeding her and yada yada yada, but she's still in the vase.
Young.
Yeah, I mean, trying to coax her out has been impossible for Scalodius.
Alright. So as you all go along, you walk across the dock and you see a very large ship that looks as if two different ships have been bound together at the tail end. You see crewmates moving across, getting the sails prepared, as you all board the ship ready to set sail. And after a few minutes of standing aboard the ship, it begins to move along as you hear orders being shouted, crew members calling out their plans, what they're doing, and continuing to move about rapidly to ensure that the ship is working properly. And eventually, you hit the open seas, and you are greeted with the sound of the air ruffling through your hair, the sounds of the waves crashing against the crashing against the ship, and the sound of gulls flying overhead. Who goes there?
Stella.
Someone joined. I
Hello.
heard it.
I just got called Slayers in my rivals.
What the hell?
What?
I got called Slayers in my rivals. I'm taking a break.
That is a mood. You know, I only played Marvel Rivals once, and in my only game, there was a dude whose name was capital nigga.
Oh my god.
And not with an A, with a hard R.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, yeah, that's a mood.
And people wonder why I left the Overwatch community.
Hey, it's not Overwatch, it's Marvel Rivals. Or as I like to call it, Marvel Watch.
Exactly.
It's the instant. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, just a competitive shooter, just kind of been.
So,
How are you doing?
How you been? You kind of went
Terrible.
AWOL. You kind of went AWOL on us for a while.
Yeah, I was playing roleplay, and then I got called a cunt last night, so that was fun.
okay, well.
Yeah, roleplay's great.
I'm gonna need names and addresses.
No, it's fine.
We
It was
just
just,
wanna
it's
talk.
like some like 20-year-old that's like kind of bullying because cop knowledge, and then like was being an asshole.
Oh, now I definitely need the address.
Yeah,
need this shit.
it was pretty
This motherfucker.
cringe. It's not no pixel, but whatever.
Different server border.
Hmm.
I just said different server.
Yeah, it's purple.
Purple.
Yeah.
Everyone likes purple.
Purple is good. Purple is good. Purple is not good.
Says who?
Says anyone who's had a purple nipple.
What about people who are in?
I mean, unless you're kinky.
I mean, yeah. I am not, though. Oh.
Oh god, when was the last time Estelle was here? Or are you just sitting
I'm
in?
just sitting in. I'm just sitting in.
Okay.
It was a very long time.
Alright, so
Stuff
TLDR
has
from
happened.
I think major TLDR stuff went to a land ran by a lich with a bunch of undead zombies, beholders, and giant skeletons. After that, we ran away, and now we're in the Pirate Kingdom trying to do this mission to save a friend.
Yeah, we came out one day and, came out of the mountain one day and, there was a zombie horde just in front of our front door.
Yeah, come on. You came out of the mansion, not the mountain.
Oh, did I say mountain? Mountain? I thought, oh, sorry. Came out of the mansion and there was just Gen Z in front of our, not Gen Z, but like, yeah. Oh, we also had a really cool library.
Oh wait, that's cool.
Yeah, it had really, really old school spells.
Old school spells and like knowledge on literally everything
Yep.
that you could think of at the moment. Almost everything.
So, yeah. Kind of wish you would have been there for that because we would have all had some really cool stuff.
You could ask for a bunch of romance
So
novels.
what you playing in the background, Matt?
Oh, right.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I was moving my mouse around and I accidentally like right-clicked or something and then it started a YouTube video.
My headset and my microphone are separate.
Yeah.
You don't know I'm listening to Repo Man's theme.
Oh, I do now.
Alright. Oh. I guess. Oh, right. Lucy's going to look at the ship and is going to look very confused.
Is something wrong, Beastie?
Why are there two ships instead of one?
Two.
She points at this ship and then at that part of the ship.
There. God damn it, it's another jet.
Jesus.
I'm afraid player does not follow.
Zoom out on the map, Matt.
Yeah.
So she's pointing to this ship, which looks like its own ship, and then to this part of the ship, which looks like another part of the ship, both of which are connected by this.
Yeah.
My
Okay,
assumption,
I'm sort of getting it, but yeah.
George will answer. My assumption would be that it's kind of built like this to make it easier to handle a larger crew.
Very interesting design choice, honestly.
I mean, you can ask. We literally have the captain of the ship here.
We still walk over to... Wait, where is one, I guess? Oh, there he is. She'll walk right over.
I am right behind you.
You see Rodriguez standing, his eyes closed as he seems to be listening to the wind and allowing the air to flow through his fur.
Catman.
Catman.
He opens his eyes and looks down at you and says, "Little goblin."
Why you have two ships that make one?
It makes my crew have more space. Where there is more space, there is more places that we can. There's more places we can store treasure from our escapades.
Why not get a thing like bag of holding?
He just smiles to this and says, sometimes a bag of holding just isn't good enough.
She gets another bag of holding.
It doesn't work like that.
Why?
It simply does not.
Now she looks even more confused.
In the same way that a goblin nest cannot hold all of the goblins born, we need a lot of space in order to expand.
Okay, me starting to get it now. She then looks around. But why make it wider and not deeper?
Who says it does not work?
She looks down at the floor. She then wanders off to go investigate to see just how deep the ship goes.
Are you telling me the floor is made of more floor?
You will eventually find a staircase that seems to lead below deck.
Alright, below deck she goes.
I'm not changing maps for just you.
That's fine.
But you see you see pirates down below deck, resting. You're not entirely sure why, but you can tell that they are resting for one reason or another.
She's going to see how deep the rabbit hole or cat ship goes.
The cat hole.
There appears to be four
Phrasing.
different levels to the ship.
She nods. It seems she approves.
What about the rest of you?
Actually, Ellie will eventually. The curiosity will get the better of her, and she will ask Rodriguez Camila Montague, excuse me, Captain, I would like to make a perhaps more intelligent inquiry.
Very well.
The specific design of your ship is rather unique. Is it merely because you wish to just have more room to, and thus needed to shove a couple of ships together, or is there a specific reason that the ship is built the way that it is?
Unfortunately, I am not able to give you that reasoning. I am not the one who built the ship. I merely purchased it.
Well, I believe the curiosity I have will remain unquenched then, unless we can find the shipyard where it was built.
It was an elven shipyard, if that means anything to you.
Fascinating. I shall have to ruminate on this further. Ruminate. Ruminating. Thank you for your time. I shall see if I can find some information about that. And
I am sorry I could not shed more insight.
Oh no, you have been most helpful. I have been informed that this is of elven make, which is a very interesting piece of information to me. This is quite helpful. Thank you. And with that, she will bow politely and will just go over here and begin to postulate and think.
and other big words.
Yes, even ruminate, as was mentioned. Ruminating.
We're just gonna sit against the edge there and kind of look at the water.
Yeah, who's also looking out the water?
Oh, what'd you say, Phenom?
Adel is also looking out at the water.
Thorgrim actually is too, and he's not looking so great.
I think we forgot he doesn't do well in the water.
I mean,
Yeah.
the last time he was on the water, he had a less than ideal experience.
Yeah.
Granted, we have had a less than ideal experience basically everywhere at this point.
Yeah, but your dead wife didn't come onto the ship and start strangling him.
Good point.
Yeah, it was quite bad. So,
Thorgrim.
sitting on the deck, and he's looking at the water, and he's got that far away stare.
Thorgrim?
He doesn't answer.
George will then walk up and say, "Does anyone want bacon?"
He doesn't answer.
Well, now you know it's serious.
George will walk over and basically put his hand on their shoulder.
Can I call for a check?
Sure.
Can you roll insight, George?
Okay.
Thorgrim's having an anxiety attack.
Oh. George will. I have to go do a roll.
Will I do the smart thing or the not smart thing?
Paragon,
No,
a
he's-
renegade, here we go.
I mean, he's kind of renegade, but it's like he's trying to be nice with this renegade. He is just going to put his head on the shoulder, lean down and whisper in Thorgrim's ear. He's going to cast command and just say calm.
Okay. Wisdom save, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, wisdom save.
Calm. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Saw you were kind of having a moment there, and I didn't really know what else to do, so I did what I thought was best.
All good. Thorgrim will get up, and he will actually go below deck as well.
Alright.
George will look at the Ravager and just say,
Rabbiter.
Ravager.
The Rabbiter.
The Ravager, and say, I know I don't really have any say in what you do, but do you think you can keep an eye on him, maybe? The last time we were... So wait, would George know about that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So, George would say...
Actually, I don't remember. I don't actually know. I'm gonna say no though, because I think you were playing Mark at the time.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he was.
Yeah, it probably was. I think that's when he got the gun, or found out about guns. Just like Ravager said, I don't really have any right to have a say what you do, but you can keep an eye on him. I thought he was just seasick, but I know something's bothering him.
Fine. I guess I'll hang out around him. He says and begins following Thorgrim.
I'll watch them go, then after a while, I'll eventually go stand next to Adel and continue looking down at the water.
I'll look to George. Sorry, what?
Nothing. He was just helping Thorgrim.
Were you able to?
Did the best I can. He's heading below deck, and I asked the Ravager to also keep an eye on him.
Good. Last time you were at sea, things weren't so well for him.
Yeah, I could tell he wasn't. Well, I guess I couldn't tell, but he wasn't really responding to anything I say, even when I mentioned bacon.
That is uncommon for him.
I mean, I don't think any of us have a good experience on the sea so far.
I
Yes.
haven't had the bad one.
My knowledge, this is my first time being on the sea.
The seas are dangerous.
I'm still got my head on a swivel.
Gee, I wonder what could have. Never mind. Now it's not the time for my sarcasm.
Oh no, this time it's something apparently I hadn't done yet, but will do.
Yes, there was that time elemental.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm keeping my eyes open, because I don't know when that shoe is gonna drop yet still.
If you keep worrying about it, you will be attempting to change things that cannot be changed.
Was that before or during second party?
Before.
Before.
I figured as much. I just wanted to make sure.
Because second party didn't come until you guys made it to the Elven Village, and you didn't make it until the Elven Village until your first time out to sea.
That makes sense. Yeah, so Elven will pipe up and say, so, do you mind clarifying? That sounds deeply unpleasant, and I am worried.
What, the time elemental?
Yes, that is not something that should be trifled with.
Well, it's more that it trifled with us, to be perfectly honest.
It didn't do anything to us. It merely gave us a warning.
That is deeply concerning.
Unless she had else, her tongue was numb.
Say again?
Unless she was heading out since her tongue was numb.
Slower?
Luna is heading out because her tongue is numb.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. Alright,
That's not good.
be safe, Luna.
Yeah. Hope that clears up.
Yeah.
Doesn't great.
But yeah, the time elemental was more directed at me for some reason, and well, knowing how time things are already screwy as it is,
Yeah,
I have no idea what I do to upset him.
about halfway through that sentence, LV kind of will slowly turn to you, and like it's like the scene from an anime where like the background is like dark blue and black, and like the eyes are like really wide and just like really dire, and just says
The despair.
what? Yeah, the despair look, and just, what did you do?
She just said she doesn't
I
know.
don't know. That's the problem. Or apparently I will do it, and I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
That's kind of the problem.
a dire portent. That is.
Well, on the if it makes you feel any better, apparently whatever I do doesn't upset it enough to kill me, but still pisses it off. So I don't know what I did.
That does not make me feel better at all.
Look on the bright
I
side.
feel.
Look on the bright side. Whatever it is, it hasn't happened yet.
Well, that's typically how time works.
Theoretically.
Yes, theoretically. But that means we have a potential portent of doom hovering over our heads.
When do we not?
Besides, this one was been over my head for a long time.
There isn't
How
much
long?
we can do about it now.
Yes, fiddling with the flow of time, much less one that can see it and has limited command over it, is... I do not recommend it.
Again, it's not like we had much of a choice.
And it's not like you guys are in any danger anyway. It's me it wants, for whatever reason.
Oh no, our dear friend is in danger, so we have no reason to worry about that at all, she says, giving Jubilee the side-eye.
Yes, none at all. Also side-eye.
We had best abandon her whenever that comes up.
Surely.
Yes.
It seems like
Absolutely.
someone does not value the people that have chosen to serve me.
And I feel as if I will, it will be, how do I want to say this? Sorry, let me start again. And if it should happen, it is not like I would not jump in and try and save you doing something reckless or anything. Also side-eye.
I wasn't why did I get hit with all this shade all of a sudden?
Because you're implying that since it's your problem, it isn't ours.
And it most certainly is.
I was trying to infer more or less it would, whatever the problem is, would be focused on me. Therefore, much easier to solve if it revolves around one person rather than a whole group.
I mean, I'm not.
It,
really
it narrows the possibilities down.
I think
I wasn't trying to devalue myself.
What is it, Otto?
Oh, yeah, I think it's good to try to like be more, to be less worried about it. I mean, look at what happened with me. I don't know if my book still says I'm gonna die at this point or what my deal is gonna entail, but I feel fine. Or it's not holding me back from doing anything. Oh, speaking of, and he looks at Montague.
It would take a force of nature to hold you back, Otto.
Well, considering how many forces of nature we've fought at the moment, I'm trying to agree with that, but I don't want to have an ego yet. Speaking of Mr. Montague, do you have any explosive ammo for anything? Or ammunition?
It depends. Why do that?
I have I guess if we're going to be dealing with the Lich and a bunch of undead, we're going to need a lot of things that can take care of, massive amounts of enemies, or at least weaken them, and I have a spell that can multiply ammunition.
Very interesting. But for the time being, let's not worry about it. I want you all to relax and get familiar with the ship on the first day. Afterward, we will find something for you all to do.
Okay. As soon as he says explore the ship, Otto's going to start walking around and exploring the ship.
Alright.
With Poppy, and he's gonna look at Poppy and say, are you attuned to that headband again now?
Poppy will look to you and give you a thumbs up.
Okay, good to know. I'm gonna go explore. In the meantime, ask Hubert to continue training you with that weapon.
I do not believe the turbulence caused by the water would allow sufficient training in this regard.
Okay, that's a fair point. Just whenever we have free time again.
Very well.
You will then look around to see if there is a crow's nest.
There appear to be several.
I guess in the meantime, go up to one of the crow's nests and help whoever the lookout is up there at the moment with looking out at the ocean.
Which one?
The one in the middle. We're closest to
Very
the
well.
middle. Is that audible? Continue just exploring the ship.
Alright.
Wait, is Matt muted?
Seems to be that way.
It says
He's
he's
been-
server muted.
Phenom, what'd you do?
I muted him.
How
There was
rude.
weird noises coming from him.
Yeah. I figured he didn't realize he was muted, and I wanted to make sure that he didn't have to worry about whatever noises came out in case anything sensitive was occurring.
Yeah, alright.
What, should I unmute him?
The snake bite 70-year-old man who bites it back to take revenge both die.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
I mean, in case it says anything, then yeah. Might not realize he's just server muted if he's trying to say something.
Well, I put in the Roll20 chat to let him know, you know.
Oh, okay, okay.
No charms.
You know, says Adel, last time we were out here, we did spot a dragon.
No, it didn't.
Wasn't it a dragon turtle?
Correct.
I thought they were just as... I thought they were about as rare as dragons.
That's where the technicalities come. It is technically a dragon, but it is also its own thing.
So, technically, we did see a dragon.
I still disagree on that.
Mm-hmm. Be that as it may. And she looks over to Rodriguez. I do have to ask, why pirates to begin with? The waters are significantly more dangerous compared to the lands.
He looks to you and smiles. Are you sure about that?
At least from what I've seen thus far, yes.
Really?
Yes.
They don't. Well, Montague can agree with me here. Even though we've been to a lot of places there are still so many untouched territories on land that we have not been to yet.
That is true. However, some of the things we have seen on the water still pale in... Well, some of the things we have seen in land still pale in comparison to what we have seen or just heard in the water.
Unfortunately, I believe that the land is just as dangerous as the sea.
Actually, there was one thing that I was wondering. Have you been to lands outside of Crestfall?
I have.
How did they take everything that's been going on?
What do you mean?
Like, the blood moons, for example. Though they have stopped recently, for years they happened every month. And everything that was a danger became even more of a danger. If I recall, things were corroding too. And let's not even take into account the fact that the goddess of life was killed. Crestfall suffered greatly. And I'm not sure if that was a continent-wide thing or if it was a global thing. So, how are the other lands?
I would assume they are doing as well as they could. All things considered. Which may not be as well off as some other places, but
You would assume.
given the circumstances.
You haven't been there?
I have. But Just because I have been there does not mean I know the personal experience of every individual. Correct?
That is true. I just figured you would be able to estimate based off of what you saw.
There are some places that I would say are doing well. There are other places that I have been ravaged to unrecognizable husks.
Alright, that explains. That's, I understand.
In one such land, there was a being that rendered what I believed to have been an entire country underwater.
Ah.
And that was one hell of a beastie we had to sail away from.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, another question then. Why did you choose here to be your home? Crestfall, that is. Is it just because it was close to where you arrived in this realm?
This was the first place that I found that was not where I had to fight the Titan. And upon making it to landfall, I made friends. And after making my friendships, I could not bear the thought of moving away from the people who I would say are my people at this point.
I see. Alright, I understand.
If I may, Montague. I know what you said before about you being stuck here, but why didn't you try to at least, like, maybe talk to other kingdoms, other leaders, or people to try to see if they could at least assist you with getting back home?
My home is the Nine. The Nine Hells. And not a lot of people like to interact with devils.
Man, fair point.
Angels do not like devils that much either, I must remind you.
Yeah. I've heard from my mother countless times to never really trust you. Or I guess not really not trust you, but be cautious of you would be the better way to describe it.
Which is a very fine thing to be.
No, it's demons I never trust.
Also a very fine thing to follow. Demons are not to be trusted at all.
I was standing right next to Adel.
Adel just looks over. So what do you do if a demon says not to trust it? Do you then trust it?
I am more intelligent than to believe the words that come from a demon.
He chuckles. Fair enough.
Demons only want destruction, after all.
That is true.
Now, why did you bring up demons, my friend?
Very good question.
I mean, I don't really study devils or demons that much, so up until recently, I never really. I thought they kind of go hand in hand with each other. But seeing your reaction to hatred towards demons, I guess that makes my assumption wrong. I mean, you probably.
Devils and demons do not go hand in hand, nor do they get along.
Is it because they all want different things, or?
The demons want only destruction. Whether it be the mortal plane, the astral plane, the nine hells. They just want to destroy. And as such, when they found a way to break into the nine hells, it issued a war that even to this day is still going on. And if at any point the devils begin losing that war, all of creation will come to an end. Because from the nine they can reach into every other world they find. And they will. But, luckily, it doesn't appear that that is going to happen anytime soon.
Would they not be able to do that the other way around then? Like going from a realm that's connected to the nine from there, or is it always? Does it have to be from the abyss itself?
They can be summoned from the abyss, but having a foothold in the nine hells would allow them to expand faster. After all, a lot of mortal souls go to the nine hells.
That's the case then. Huh. Alright. Sounds like all the devils got their work cut out for them.
That we do. Well, I guess I should say they have not been to the nine in quite a while.
That's the case, then do you guys have your own set of gods in the nine, or is it pretty much just what is it, archdevils?
Archdevils, not technically gods. But I suppose it depends on who you ask. Some archdevils would think themselves gods after all.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. I was just contemplating everything that was just said, so that's why I went quiet.
ruminating.
Ruminating it.
Oh, loading, loading.
So if demons only want destruction, does that mean... not trying to sound offensive when I ask this, devils only want power? Or are they just...
That's a very fair assumption, to be honest, he says, not seeming offended at all.
To my knowledge, that's what I assume most devils want is power, whether it be political power, physical power, mental power, arcane power.
Having power allows you to get a stronger foothold. It may even allow you to become one of the leaders of one of the rings of hell. Which is why saying that they only want power is a very fair assessment.
Well, if you ever go back to the 9, what kind of power would you seek?
Honestly, I would probably stay here until such point as I lost my crew. After all, I have my crew. I have my boys. Why would I abandon them?
I mean, that's fair. I guess one could also say you believe in the power of allies more than anything. Or I guess friends would be the better assumption.
It's very interesting to see you so inquisitive, Mr. George.
Well, I mean, it's not every day you get to have a conversation with a devil, sorry. My mind has just been on something else.
And I sure do love having conversations with a tiefling, Azamar. Apologies. He has a snide rim to this.
Of course, we'll back. I guess I deserve that.
8 miles.
You just hear Jubilee call, yeah, you do.
Also, someone who just enjoys having knowledge about things, so.
As the old saying goes, knowledge is power.
Just hear Otto on the side. Yeah, it is. He is now looking at the, I forgot what this is called.
It's a harpoon. Well, a trebuchet.
Trebuchet.
That is not a trebuchet.
A harpoon.
That is a ballista.
A ballista.
A ballista.
Oh wait, no, that is a ballista. A trebuchet fires rocks like a giant catapult.
A trebuchet is just an upgraded catapult.
Yeah. Well, just power, but I've been realizing that as much as I've been traveling, I don't really take the time to actually learn about people or different things.
You don't learn culture. How rude of you.
Yeah, I've kind of only been used to my home's culture, so I haven't really been taking the time to learn much other than that. We also end up fighting half the time we're traveling anyway, so there's not really time to think about culture. Or at least I thought I never really had time to think about culture.
No time? There's time if you make time for it, Joe.
Why do you think we're having this conversation now?
Chubbs, why are you making this with me?
Why not? Also, welcome back, Matt.
Hi. Sorry about the abrupt departure.
It is what it is.
Yeah, accidents happen, and I had to clean something up. Did I miss anything important?
Other much George and was there just having conversations.
Okay.
Montague.
I'll let you get back to that then.
I mean, yeah, I'm recently now discovering more about drow culture, so that's been fun.
Oh, cool.
Drow culture, you say?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I guess, for lack of better words, I found someone I'm interested in who is a drow, so I'd like to learn more about their culture if I were to pursue anything further.
Interesting.
Yeah, although considering who I'm learning it from, I'm not sure if half the things I'm hearing is just satire or true.
That is for you to decide. I don't think I would be much help in this regard, unfortunately.
Did not have any run-ins with drows.
Not too terribly, no.
Elle just smiles. The smile turns into a slight shit-eating grin.
Why are you smiling at me like that?
No reason.
You don't smile without reason. Especially with the smile you have right now.
I have absolutely no idea to what you're referring to, George.
Your smile is just getting wider as you're saying this.
Is it?
We have no idea what
Is
you're
it?
talking about, George.
Right.
And just like that, the smile is gone, and she's back to looking out the water.
Much of then also just look up at the sky.
Okay. Chubb started clawing me on accident. Anybody else want to do something?
Is Dusnoth gonna say anything when he eventually finds me moping around?
No, he's just hanging out around you for the most part.
Okay. And I guess that's pretty quiet.
He doesn't seem. He either doesn't know how to, or it's not within his nature to inquire why someone is upset.
It's probably a combo of both, honestly, knowing him.
So for the most part, he just finds whatever room you're in and just hangs out there. That's his form of comfort.
I mean, that's more than enough, honestly. Thorgrim appreciates his dwarven buddy, acquaintance.
I guess since they're both down on the ship, Beastie would spot Thorgrim.
Okay. Yeah, because you went down first.
Yeah.
Oh. So while wandering around, she'll look at them and be like, "Hey, dwarf."
He doesn't answer.
She'll go over and just bop him on the head. "Hey, what's wrong?"
Stuff.
Stuff happens all the time, and that doesn't make this sad.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And the conversation ended there.
Yeah,
Hey,
she's
what's
just
wrong?
also
I don't want to talk about it. Okay.
She's just gonna be chilling there too.
That is probably the best resolution to a conversation I've ever heard, honestly.
I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Like, see, the reason I started laughing was not because of the end of the conversation, but the several seconds of silence implying that Beastie is just standing in front of Thorgrim staring down at him.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
she is.
Yeah,
Just 100%, just like, okay, does it move?
It's like basically just like I kind of imagining this. I'm kind of imagining the same stance Beastie has when she's sleeping.
Yes, just arms folded, looking down. Well, up, I guess. I think Thorgrim is taller than her by a couple of inches. Well, just
Yeah, but I
looking up
think-
at him.
I'm fairly certain, though, he's sitting.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think he's sitting on like a box or a barrel or something.
Then yeah, she... Well, I guess it depends on how big the barrel is. But nonetheless, yeah, she's just gotta be looking down at him. Just like, okay.
Okay.
Stare.
Yeah, that's the reason that I started laughing, was just the mental image of BC like, okay. Prolonged eye contact, prolonged eye contact.
Prolonged eye contact. Prolonged eye contact.
She'll then be like a little bit in thought for a second. Then be like, alright. And she's gonna lift up the barrel with him on it.
Do I need to roll a save to avoid falling off the side barrel?
Nah.
Okay. Dope monk balance.
And she's just gonna carry him along. And we'll go to another part and be like, hey, where's the drink?
Well, you're holding one of the barrels.
Need another one.
Why?
Friend is sad and he happier when he drinks.
He just stares at you before saying, how about you try drinking that one first? Then we'll talk.
This is my seat. I am sitting on it.
Alright. She'll place the barrel down. Then we'll try and lift the lid up with Thorgrim on it.
It has a tap. The pirate says this.
Oh. She'll look around for a bucket.
You can find a bucket.
She'll take the bucket, we'll turn the tap, and then we'll pass the alcohol-filled bucket to Thorgrim. Here.
But by the time you've done this, Thorgrim already has his water skin filled and he's drinking from it.
Wow! Beastie will just, like, push the bucket in his face. Hey.
Thorgrim will use his other hand to grab the bucket and continue drinking from the water skin.
She makes a humph noise and then carries him on the barrel back to his previous room.
And now Thorgrim has 2 drinks and is now also sad.
Well,
Coping mechanisms.
she did her best. If that don't work, she was going to suggest fighting. Oh shit, right. She's going to... That is very weird when Roll20 does this. She is going to leave Thorgrim be, as going to go and find Charlie.
Oh my god.
You head above deck and you see Charlie and Ovitus seeming to be talking while watching the water.
Hey, she says while going to Charlie.
Huh?
Fight me.
You're not over at Charlie yet.
Yes, I had to reload my Roll20 because it was being weird. Fight me.
Saying from across the deck, fight me.
Fight me!
Charlie will look at you before shrugging and goes, "Okay, and I need you to roll an athletics."
Alright. Is Beastie going into the drink? It's a shame she can't swim.
Yeet.
Alright. Charlie's going to use his Draconic Might, and he's going to get a strength score of 30.
Gee, I wonder why you offhandedly mentioned that. Oh god.
Alright, so Beastie, as you say fight me, Charlie will turn towards you and you see his eyes become briefly reptilian as red scales sprout out on the edge of his eyes towards his temple. As he rears his arm back, you see the strength suddenly multiply in him as his muscles become more defined, and he swings his arms down, crashing into your head, which causes you to hit the deck of the ship and bounce 30 feet in the air.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
At which point you then slam back into the deck of the ship a moment later.
Beastie will get back up and will, like, roll her shoulders and crack her neck.
I need you to roll a con.
Alright, let's see.
And then fall unconscious.
You are very, very dizzy.
Alright. So she gets up, rolls her shoulders, cracks her neck, is like, alright, now we fight, she says, while looking the complete wrong direction.
I thought you were gonna say, alright, rolls her shoulders, cracks her neck, looks George right in the eyes and throws up.
Also, why are there so many of you?
No fair.
I guess I should have held back.
What? No, she says while turning to look at him. Don't hold back. In fact, me, I'm holding back right now. And then she activates her tattoos. Now me not holding back. Now we really fight.
Hear Otto just say from across the ship, please try to keep holding back and not damage the ship at all.
She pauses. She unactivates her tattoos. True. Now it's my turn. I guess she'll swing at him?
Okay.
Recklessly.
Let's see. Yeah, alright. Roll damage. bludgeoning. Oh,
Yeah.
because you punched.
Nope. She's gonna hop
You
up
threat-
and knee him in the jaw.
You knee him in the jaw, which you know is very strong, but he stands there and takes the blow as you land on your feet and goes, huh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I was told we can't fight anymore.
Huh?
He said we had to hold back. There's no fun in fighting if we have to hold back.
Yes, it's like, you think very well. Like wearing weighted training thingies. You can't go all out when you do that.
Yeah, but that's for people who want to hold back.
Sometimes holding back is good.
He looks insulted that you just said this to him.
Sometimes.
Ew, holding back.
It is important sometimes.
He just continues to give you the insulted look.
What?
I need to find that judgment tool.
Why? It's never good to hold back. If I held back, I wouldn't have launched the guard across the city when he tried to arrest me.
I mean, sometimes it is good most of the time to not hold back, but sometimes it is good to hold back.
He seems very unconvinced.
Like,
I'm just imagining Charlie looking at Beastie with the post I put in shit posting.
alright, let's see. But she, like, seems to be thinking about times when holding back would be a good thing. And she's like when trying to fight friend on ship that you can't break.
He just watches you. He just watches you and then looks to... He just watches you before looking to Obi and says, she's not making any sense.
What? Me speak common good, me make sense.
No, you're saying that holding back is okay, and it's not.
It is sometimes.
I don't know.
Yes. God damn it. Why does this keep happening? Okay, I fixed that, I guess. But sometimes, like very, very few times, but some of the times,
He does not... Each time you keep trying to convince him that holding back is good, he just continues to stare at you.
he stares back, looking exasperated.
I don't like your crazy talk.
Me, I'm not crazy.
You're saying that you should be holding back, and we shouldn't be.
I am saying sometimes it is fine.
But then it's not a fight.
It is a fight.
No.
Yes.
I feel like you'd be better off just asking him to spar than fight, then he might understand the difference.
Oh. Let's spar.
He watches you and just thinks for a minute and says, I guess.
That's boring, though. Hmm.
That is precisely the energy he's giving.
Yeah, no, I totally get it, yeah. It's not to the death, it's not fun, yeah.
He doesn't want to fight to the death. He just wants to fight.
Unrestrained.
Alright. So what do we do, George?
Roll athletics, I guess.
To get yeeted by a hero.
Oh boy.
Cool. So he rolled a nat 20.
Oh, of course.
Oh boy.
Of course he did.
So that should be he accidentally doesn't hold back.
So Beastie, as you jump at him, he just pulls his hand back and swings a punch into you, which launches you through the air over everyone on deck as you crash and land on the other side of the boat.
Wow.
Sorry.
Beastie is, like, a little bit stunned. But then she'll get up and it's like, Blue mate,
Yes.
train me more
Why?
so that I can fight him. And she points at Charlie.
No amount of training in the world could prepare you for that.
George. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sure if you were going to respond.
Hubert just looks to Charlie and then looks back to Beastie, but doesn't say anything.
You said you would train me, so train me.
The training won't be particularly well on this ship, but I can try.
Good.
You know what terrifying matchup I just realized, Adel?
Yes.
Has Charlie ever fought Rashi?
Good lord, that would be
Slowly
terrifying.
looks over at Charlie. That would be concerning.
No, if Rashid ever learned that he has a piece of a dragon god soul in him, I think it would just be inevitable then.
At this point, it probably already is if he's heard about Charlie.
Well, it's not like Charlie has been going about telling people that he has a dragon god soul in him. Hey. Oh, that was Agam.
Disappear?
That was
Oh,
Agam.
I was about to say.
Agam wasn't supposed to be here, sorry.
Anyways, do you really think that man to be that subtle?
Well, it's more like he has no reason to bring it up.
Tulsi
Yeah, but I'm
like
pretty
a
sure
really
his
strong
actions
fighter.
speak louder than his words.
I mean, his actions mention that he's just a strong fighter. There's nothing really draconic about him.
I mean, if you just saw what he just did just there, with his eyes and everything, it kind of shows when he fights. So
That is a good point.
but I guess that's why they shouldn't fight.
I
Yeah,
have a
I guess.
feeling they're going to anyway.
I mean, we could just. I mean, that could just be another way to bring Rashi to us.
I'd rather not use Charlie as bait.
I mean,
Again,
I
this
wouldn't see
seems
this
more
using it
inevitable
as-
more than anything.
I wouldn't see us using it as bait. I'd see it as two really strong people getting the opportunity to fight another really strong person.
Yes, but while Charlie would see it as just a fight to see who would win, Rashi would want to kill Charlie.
Isn't Charlie used to fighting things that want to kill him anyway?
Yes, but I don't think that we want Rashi to be one of those things. Especially if we want Rashi to be on our side.
Seriously, I think the only thing that could stop him is a woman trying to seduce him.
Rashi or Charlie?
Yes. I don't know what it is about their type. They just seem to fear women for some reason. I don't get it.
Does Rashi fear women?
Isn't
This is not a hypothesis.
Maybe?
that
I don't know.
tested.
isn't the goblin going to do something like that with him anyway?
Rashi strikes me as the kind of person who just enjoys strength. So I feel like he wouldn't. The only way he'd be distracted by a woman seducing him is if that woman is beating his ass or putting up a good fight against him. Which he looks over at Beastie. That makes a lot more sense now.
And out of all of us, Beastie is the only one that he seems to have any sort of respect for, aside from Hubert.
I was about to say, you forget Hubert.
Well, Hubert is a special case.
Special case of one, he's also just that fucking strong.
Yes, that's what makes him special.
I wasn't as strong as I am whenever I first bought him, you know.
Yeah, but still,
think you could
I'm
take him
sure
now?
I'm still not entirely sure what all Rashi is capable of.
Beastie mid-train will be like, Rashi is like me while doing squats, only a lot bigger and a lot faster and a lot stronger, and also has a lot more weapons.
he also can destroy magic weapons.
He can also use magic.
So, nothing like you.
Beastie scoffs and points to her tattoos. These magic?
Can you use magic?
Yes.
No.
She points to her
Without
tattoos.
the tattoos.
Well, the same thing like... And she thinks for it. If me wanted to, me probably could.
Actually, that just gave me another idea.
Yeah?
How would Rashi feel if he knew about that one lich that's in that one king taking advantage of the bodies of probably also lizard folk as well?
Considering his usage of the bodies of lizard folk, I'm not sure he'd care.
I mean, he'd probably see it as a threat to his own.
We can bring it up to him, but I feel he would either see it as beneath him or not really deserving of his focus.
Yeah, we could tell him he's bringing dragons back from the dead.
Rashi also brought dragons back from the dead.
Rashi made undead dragons, he did not bring them back from the dead.
That's
Just
what
hear a
George
slow
was referring
growl
to.
over by where Elvie and Galodius are.
At this point, Elvie just kind of walks up to Scalodius and sort of just places a hand on his shoulder, sort of leans against him a bit as a small sign of support.
Either way, I do think it'll be good to, if Splodius is okay with it, to have Charlie there as well when we do eventually have our fight with Rashi again.
I'm not even sure if we are going to be fighting Rashi again, to be honest. He pauses.
There's
Actually, no, you're right. We are going to be fighting him again.
Yeah, as long as if he's still okay with the agreement I made with him, I believe we're still going to have a fight with him.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be willing to work with others unless we beat him.
No, I mean, I told him if he wants to beat the Puppet Master, when we're finally able to beat him or face him, we bring him with. And then once that's done, Scalodius can have his fight with him.
And why would we have to fight Rashi?
Do you really want Scalodius to go at it alone with Rashi?
That is a good point. Though I'm not sure if
Scalodius'
would
abilities
want
and
us.
strength.
I mean, I know I don't, but I don't think that's our call to make.
It isn't. It would be up to Scalodius if we fight alongside him.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Be that as it may, that is a discussion for after we defeat the puppeteer.
Agreed.
Wando and Squad Beast will say, but Rashi is pretty strong. Like, really, really, really strong. But he's different.
That's a good thing to point out. Did we ever look into where he got his magic from?
Probably same place where he got his strength from.
Which would be...
She just points to herself during her squats. Like this, but with magic. So, doing his in his brain.
Yeah, but there's no way someone can train themselves to be that strong while also being that gifted in magic at the same time. At least, well, I don't know how old he is. He might have just been able to do both over time. No, I mean, LV is a very strong wizard, and because he's trained herself and has the knowledge for that. So it could.
But that's not something that took less than a year.
And how long has Rashi been alive?
Thousands.
Yeah, he definitely could have the time to.
Right, but most of it was in like a stasis.
I was about to bring up the same point. He was sealed away.
Well, says Ada while scratching the back of her head. Think about how strong we were when we arrived here. It's been less than a year, and look at what we are capable of now. And we haven't been fighting off dragons and gods.
Yeah, but there's a few differences there, Adel. For one, most of us here are innately gifted with magic, not really learned. Kind of points between me and her. Secondly, the ones who are learned, it took them a while. And third, I'm pretty sure when we first met Rashid, he didn't have any magical abilities.
That or
So where did they manifest?
That or didn't leave us worthy to be, need to use magic against.
It'll shit's rad. Well, not to you, George. You're right. But Jubilee, when we first met him, he was doing magic. He was doing something to the lizard folk that helped us, well, tricked us into freeing him. And once we saw him afterwards, they were alive through some sort of necromancy magic. He had magic the entire time we've known him.
I don't know, maybe I just misremembered the last point. Still, it feels like he's pulling different types of magic out now, not just necromancy.
Well, when we fought him, he did throw a gigantic asteroid at us and stop time.
Can LV hear any of this information?
Yes.
LV is going to sort of just walk towards the group and just say, "You can what?"
Yes, the last time we fought him, he threw a meteor at us. Several meteors, actually, and he stopped time for a while.
Technically, while the spell was meteor, the way I flavored it was he roared through something at the sky and it shattered.
He intimidated the sky into breaking? That's cool.
You intimidate space into breaking.
Because you guys, the way I flavored it, you made him so angry his eyes went reptilian. He fired something at the sky shattered and the pieces fell on top of you.
Okay, so let me rephrase. He broke the sky.
What spell is that, DM?
It's just Meteor Swarm. It's just the way I flavored it at the time.
I figured as much. Well, just, the more you described it, the more I was like, is it? I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah, it's Meteor Swarm.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
But-
there's a big difference between calling down a meteor and breaking the fucking sky. Sorry.
Group 2, we've fought Rashid before, right?
Yes. Well, no, actually, you guys haven't fought Rashid yet.
I did, says Beastie.
Oh, well. Okay, so apart from the one sparring match that Beastie had, you have not technically fought Rashid.
Okay. But we know who he is then, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have met Rashid, you just haven't fought him.
Okay. You're telling me that someone like Rashi, from what I assume, martial fighter, is able to cast 9th level spells?
Well, to be fair, I'm fairly certain that some of those spells are due to his weaponry.
That's somehow more concerning.
I'm aware that he wasn't able to do something without his shield.
Didn't you say that he also was able to kill Mark instantly?
How?
I'd like to roll a history, because I don't remember that one. Did he really cast Power Word Kill him, Mark?
Yes. Yes, he did.
What the fuck?
And
Yeah.
not only did he do this, there was only one of you who actually saw it happen. And they're not here.
It was fucking Tauntaun! That's...
It was.
I fucking remember, that's why! This motherfucker, he sees plots important, she's like, I'm gonna keep him to myself, and then he fucking forgets! The bastard!
Fight a nickel.
Now,
Tell me how you really feel, why don't you?
I will say you have been informed by at least Mark. I think Tauntaun said it as well because he was freaking the fuck out over it. But you were informed by both Mark and Tauntaun what occurred to Mark in that instance. So yes, all of you know that he is capable of casting that spell too.
Hi. LV looks at Beastie. And there's a look of, like, genuine concern in her eyes. It says, What? How are you even going to hope to...
Hope to what?
How are you even hoping to even scratch Rashi when he can do that?
Beastie just, like, stops squatting, looks at Elvie like she's an idiot, just pulls out straw and points to the sharp end with this, and then cheats it.
I mean, he can be injured. I think it's just the fact that he gets a lot more dangerous when he's injured.
That does make sense considering his character.
Nothing is invincible, she says as she does her squats. If you hit
Title
something
card.
enough time, it will... Huh?
It's that cute title
God damn
card.
it. God damn it.
No, you both spoke at once. What did you say? Shadow
I
Mark?
said Q. I said Q title card when you said invincible.
Shut up!
That's why I said God damn it.
But nothing
Title
is
card?
invincible. You hit something enough
TV show.
times, eventually... Nothing is invincible, the comic. If you hit something enough times, it will break. It doesn't matter what it is.
The question is, can you hit him enough times before he hits you enough times?
One day.
We have a contingency plan just in case.
I would suggest multiple contingency plans.
She, like, scoffs again. You're making this weird. And she stands.
You're making
Drunk.
this weird and putting thought quotation marks into combat.
You're making this difficult by applying reason.
That's basically
Plus-
it. She's like, Rashi is simple. If you go to him with respect and you just want to fight, then she cracks your knuckles. Then he fights, and the stronger person wins.
I mean, in that case, we could... Huh.
Didn't we beat, like, a big purple dragon thingy? Didn't we beat a goblin that's almost killed me with one punch? Haven't we beaten so many things by now? Why me, the only one that has confidence here? Makes no sense.
I mean, I'm confident, but normally we have some form of plan whenever we do these fights, I believe, so...
Well, the plan is simple. We fight him, and we win. Anything more would be... bad. And she goes back to doing her squats. He is a warrior. He is a fighter. Show him respect, and he show you respect.
I mean, even the strongest fighters have strategies of some sort.
I feel as if my very being is disrespect to him.
You? No.
Yes.
Your very being is disrespectful when you say weird things like, and she mimics her voice. How do you hope to scratch him? And she returns to her normal voice. If you think at him like that, then he has nothing wanting to do with you. You're not a worthy fighter. You're food.
Would you think it disrespectful for me to try to build a strategy against him?
No, I believe she's saying it's disrespectful to act like a coward.
Yes. And coming up with plans is not wrong. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And she cracks her knuckles. But you're looking at him not like a fight, but like a thing. Not like a person, but a thing. Like he is... How would you feel if people looked to you and did not call you George or Prince, and they didn't see you as a person but a thing?
Considering where I'm at now, I probably wouldn't care.
This
Especially
is hitting me on a
considering
deep personal level, dude.
Considering where I'm at.
Beastie gets suddenly insightful and it makes people awkward.
Beastie is... funny thing is with Beastie is that she's always insightful. It's just that she very, very rarely pulls it out. Mm-hmm. Like the thing with the bucket.
Considering where I'm at now, and the last time someone did acknowledge me by my name was Rezold, I don't care.
Beastie nuts. That is good. But that is because they are still referring to you in a way that you are comfortable with. It is why you angry at that person that said that bad thing about your dad and about you. Because you love your dad, and you did not want him to be seen as that in a way that you did not, consent to. Or a way that you do not want him to be viewed by others. It's the same thing with Rashi.
Oh my god, she's right.
If you look at him like he's some big, dangerous animal, he going to treat you as if he a big, dangerous animal. He no speak with you. He no pay attention to you. You are prey, not person.
I mean, I don't see him as a very dangerous, powerful animal. I see him as a very dangerous, powerful, respectable adversary. Or I guess enemy in this case. Not really enemy, I guess adversary would be the better description. That's why I think the strategy against them is still respectful enough.
And make a respectful strategy.
I don't know if the strategy I was thinking of would be respectful enough.
What would be considered a respectful strategy to you then, Beastie? Theoretically.
He thinks for a bit. Blooming,
Yes.
how would you beat me?
He just looks to you and And just raises an eyebrow. In what way?
Right now. If me attacked you right now, how would you beat me?
I'd probably throw you off the ship.
You gestured to George. Like that. And then she turns around. Now Gloomy, how would you beat me?
With your back to me?
Yes.
He just very quietly pulls out a knife and, for specifically George, makes a motion of stabbing Beastie in the back. He doesn't actually do it, though.
Beastie will nod. And not like that. And she turns back to Hubert. See?
So when you're... Go ahead, Elvie.
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, so in your opinion, if I were to want to do something like, say, make his magic more difficult to use, would that be something that would be considered disrespectful?
No. I guess it depends how you do it. For example, and she does a cross, makes a cross motion right over her solar plexus. Me have very good stamina, so me can run and do all sorts of things very hard and very fast. But if Gloomy stab me or hit me here, me can't do it as well. So it limits my abilities. Me no think that's disrespectful. But if he, for example, poisoned me, then yeah, me would not like that.
So then, in that case, I'll just speak plainly. If we were to get Scalodius some form of anti-magic armor so that he could prevent Rushy from using spells, would that be disrespectful in your opinion?
No.
That would be strategic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how well the Dragonborn would wear armor.
It's more of a theoretical scenario.
Jill looks over. Hey, priest! She yells.
Huh?
Can you wear armor?
You just get a shrug.
Jill looks back and shrugs. Me think he probably could.
Elodius, you know you can wear armor.
I know, but he's not. He's just kind of. I guess.
And even if it isn't, if it comes down to it, and Scalodius wants to use it, that'll be his choice if he can. If it comes down to a team fight, we could probably have someone else who's more martial and maybe use some type of anti-magic armor.
Yes, but if you want him to respect you even more, you counter his magic with magic. If he throws something at you, throw something bigger.
I guess that works. Oh wait, speaking of, Elvie, I need to give you this back.
Yes, please do.
Take out the Dragon Touch Focus and hand it back to her as he starts to sit down, and we'll try to reattune to his angelic armor.
Yeah, I'm definitely reattuning to the focus again. Speaking of which, DM.
Yes.
Would it be possible, would my robe count technically as armor?
No.
Yeah, so I would be able to wear a suit of armor on top of it?
Theoretically.
Interesting. Oh, he kind of just pipes up and goes, you know what, technically I could also wear armor.
Well, no, you...
It's complicated.
I'll say this, and Hubert, you could, but you wouldn't be able to cast magic if you did.
Yes. I'd still at this, though, and she would gesture to her staff.
Technically speaking, you wouldn't be able to use that either. Even the spells stored in your staff require somatic components, and if you're wearing armor you're not accustomed to, you wouldn't be able to do them correctly.
Though I am proficient in a lot of forms of armor. Clerical training made sure of that.
The unfortunate thing is I'm not sure it would actually be beneficial for you, though.
So it's not like I was planning on actually doing it, but the possibility is somewhat plausible.
Personally, I wouldn't be wearing the armor I'm wearing if it wasn't for Lady Adelsade.
That wasn't for me. I begged you for years to wear armor, and you refused up until... She shudders.
Yes, but I'm still only wearing it because of you.
Only because of me?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Hubert just raises an eyebrow to this.
Adel gestures over to Jubilee. Compared to the last time I asked you this question, there was one factor that was different. I guess Jubilee's methods of persuading you are more effective than my own.
Did I mention her whenever I said it was because of you?
No.
Then don't factor her in if I don't mention it.
I mean, there is also the fact that you got bent in half, but, you know.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do to people.
Be that as it may. I guess we'll deal with Brashi again when or if we see him.
I'm sure he's around somewhere.
Beastie will perk up and look around. Where?
I am uncertain at this time, but we may come across him at some point.
Nah. We've been waiting for so long.
I'm sure you could wait a little bit longer.
No.
Be patient.
No.
I'm talking to you. I don't know if I should put that sentence actually.
What, you have such sagely wisdom for us. Aren't you going to exercise patience?
No, out of character, I stopped myself because like, nope, that's a bad sentence. Do not say that.
No, I'm talking to Beastie more. You had such wonderful sagely advice, and you can't exercise a little bit of patience.
Beastie squints over at Blue Hollow. My advice has nothing to do with plants.
The ebb and flow continues.
And then she returns to doing her squats.
Yeah, and despite saying that, LB sort of just smiles slightly.
So, Otto, says Adel, how have you been?
I just was looking around the ship and everything.
Discover anything of interest?
Did he discover anything of interest, or can I just describe what he's seen on the ship so far, like on the top?
You didn't see anything of interest. It looks like just a big fucking ship.
Oh, okay.
The only real thing of interest is it appears that the pirates on the crow's nests are casting a wind magic to actually propel the ship forward.
Well, a lot of... The ship is very big. There's a lot of ballistas set up. And they're kind of using wind magic to help push us forward, which is pretty interesting.
She looks up at the sails. Interesting. And she'll blink and we'll double check the compass to make sure they're going the right way.
What is presently the thing you want most?
The location of the phylactery of Deadbeard.
The compass will begin spinning in circles.
Okay, the phylactery of Deadbeard.
The compass will begin spinning in circles.
Is everything good, Adel?
Hold on. She's going to bounce out her wings and will fly up and will look around to see if there's anything visible.
There's a lot of water. And there's a ship below you.
She's going,
Oh my god, a ship!
She's going to fly, like, behind the ship a little and look to the compass to see where it's pointing.
What are you looking for?
Deadbeard's phylactery.
It is spinning in circles.
Alright. She'll return to...
Needle, come back.
She'll return to the ship. The compass was pointing
May
in
I
the
take a look at the compass?
Sure, and she hands it back to Jubilee. It was pointing in the direction of
Jubilee looks at the...
the phylactery before we left to sea. But now,
It was never pointing
was
at
it?
Deadbeard's phylactery.
Yeah, George say it wasn't.
what? Then what was it pointing at?
Deadbeard's island.
No, I believe you were specifically wanting to look for a way to permanently kill Deadbeard.
Right.
Well, hold on. Well, let me test a theory if you don't mind. So,
Yeah.
I look at the compass, it's still spinning, right?
Depends. What are you currently wanting?
What Adel wants, which would be the phylactery.
It is spinning in circles.
I then turn the compass sideways, seeing if
Yeah.
it will point straight down.
It is spinning in circles sideways now.
Okay. I figured that might have been a clue.
May I?
Trying to
Do
think on
it?
a Z-axis. It was worth a shot,
May I?
but that... Go ahead, George. I'll hand it over to George.
George is going to look at the compass and then start thinking about what he wants most, which would be a way to permanently kill Deadbeard.
It will begin pointing the direction the ship is sailing.
You are currently going in the right way.
Excellent.
You know, the previous question, the source of the phylactery is that there's only one possible explanation for the compass going crazy like that.
That is.
Deadbeard's phylactery is the water we're sailing upon. And Elvie just sort of does a little playful eyebrow wiggle.
They'll look down at the water.
Do that?
Oh, you're looking down at the water?
Yes.
You see something currently attached to the ship.
That is a crab with a skull for a shell.
It is not a crab.
Is that a... No, that's a... Oh, it's a spider!
It's
It
a
is a-
scooter!
It is in fact a spider.
Well, I believe, says Adel before looking down at the water, and then just trails off mid-sentence.
I believe there's a baby!
George will not really say anything. He'll just look over the edge.
You also see what appears to be a spider.
Or just going to squint a little bit. Does he see the skull at the end of it?
Yes.
George is then going to... Can he do this? Oh, he can't. He's then going to Divine Sense.
Which does.
Where is it? There it is.
It is neither a celestial fiend nor an undead.
Okay. As he does this, be like, why does it have a skull on its back?
Is it an aberration?
What are we looking at?
You know, I thought Adel jumped into the water.
You forgot she had her wings out, eh?
Yeah.
Nah, it'll just go.
Yeah.
Well, she kinda is. She's just going to step off the ship and then will fly down.
As you fly down and get close to it, you watch as it slowly retreats into the skull, which still sticks to the side of the boat.
Ella will, like, will look to the spider. Ella will reach into her pack and will offer it some food.
What kind of food do you have for a spider?
That is a good point. She's going to hop back up. One of you have meat?
Spiders don't eat meat, my lady.
What do they eat again?
They eat living prey, which
like,
they bite, liquefy, and drink.
would I be able to make a check to determine what type of spider this is?
Sure.
What check would that require?
Nature.
Nature. It is a spider.
You don't know shit about this.
No, it's a spider. It's clearly a spider.
I was gonna go and
Why?
take a look. Can you make a roll to see if you can figure out what this is?
Nature.
You know what? Fuck it, I'm a flash of genius. For 22.
So you know that it is called a nautical spider. It is a spider that lives in the ocean, and much like the hermit crab, it uses various items it finds as a shell to hide from prey, and apparently this one found a skull.
Oh, that's a nautical spider. It's kind of like
Just-
a hermit crab.
Ah,
They live in the ocean.
so the skull is just happenstance then.
We need fish.
Yeah, it just hides there.
It's the closest thing I found, apparently.
Apparently. Well, that's less concerning then.
As you say this, Otto is going to... I don't know why the mention of fish got him to say this. He's just going to think for a second. And he's just going to start to look down at the water.
Oh no.
Okay. A lot of water down there.
He's then going to look at Montague.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
I'm curious to where this line of thinking is going now.
Fuck, is it right? Would it be okay if I tried something to see if we can get us to our destination faster?
Depends on what you want to try.
I know of a spell called Water Walk.
That would not help us get to our destination quicker, I'm afraid.
No,
That would
it's
it
more.
would-
It's.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you got it. What was he saying?
Water walk lets you walk on water, which is technically what the ship already does.
Well, I mean, in my instance, I got this from a really weird. I wouldn't say ancient, but weird book, and in this case, it does literally what it says in making water walk.
Is that right?
Yeah, it made one of my water skins grew legs and started walking.
Then by all means, go ahead and try.
All right. Adel is then going to look at Adel and say, would you mind trying to move the crab before I try this, just in case?
Alright. I need a fish, she says, looking to everyone.
We only have dried fish. We don't have anything fresh.
Hubert,
Yes.
can you cast me a fish?
For Hubert to try and roll the nature check, I guess.
3 boy.
Hold on. You asked Hubert first.
Yes.
Oh, let's see if Hubert can do it.
Let's see. I believe nature is intelligence. That's not good for Hubert. But he'll try. So I'm fairly certain he has a +1 in his intelligence. He cannot catch fish.
Jesus Christ.
Matter of fact,
Did he
goes
fall
to
off the
he goes to
ship?
cast a fishing pole,
Uh,
and the pole, and then he throws the pole in the water.
He looks into the water, and as he pulls out a knife, it slips from his hand and instead hits a seagull.
Wait, the seagull, is it still alive?
No, it got hit by a knife.
Alright, you know what, she'll take it. She'll grab the seagull, and we'll offer it to the spider.
The spider continues to hide in its shell.
Yeah.
Like, you have a feeling that it is presently in its fight or flight mode, which flight is what it is doing.
Alright.
You have to remember, it is a wild creature, presently hiding from what it perceives to be a threat.
Okay. Adol will pick up the seagull with mage hand. We'll go a safe distance, and we'll offer the seagull to the spider with mage hand.
My lady, how much longer can you fly?
Indefinitely.
He raises an eyebrow to this, because I don't think it is.
Let's see.
I call bullshit, milady.
I'm pretty sure it's only like
As
a
I'm
minute.
fishing out a fish for you with an 18.
It takes a while, but you do in fact get a fish.
Because Jubilee.
Nope.
No.
Okay, according to this, you can just fly.
Wing. Oh yeah, the wings last until you incapacitated or die. That's really good.
That's kind
I
of
wish Galorius's wings could last that long.
I wish every other form of flight was like that.
I feel like that'd be broken if every other form of flight was just infinite.
I know.
What do her wings look like?
They look like black angel wings. So black feathered with red highlights.
So like the eagle wing ones.
Yes.
Thank God you only have one of them.
Nice.
Thank God you have two of them. You don't have only one of them.
Yeah, she isn't able to fly with just one for now.
She doesn't use a 10-foot long sword either.
One of these days she might.
Would you be able to just bring it on the ship while I'm about to try this out?
Shush. She makes a shushing noise. I will look to the spider to see if it will accept the bird.
It is continuing to hide as there is a bird currently seemingly pecking at its shell.
I thought the bird was dead.
It is dead, but spiders can't tell that
It is
it's a spider.
It can't tell the difference. Lady, you're scaring it more.
Alright.
Just come here. I say as I have fresh fish.
She'll go over. We'll drop the bird on the deck. We'll pick up the fish with mage hand. And we'll offer it to the spider.
The spider continues to hide as now there is a fish currently.
Okay. It has to be a...
Please, milady.
I'm trying!
My lady, it's a hunter. Need to bring it on here where it thinks it's safe and allow it to hunt.
Oh. She'll hand the fish back to Jubilee, and we'll use Mage Hand to pick the skull up and we'll place it on the ship.
Where?
On the deck.
Adol's left.
At this point, LV is moving to Otto's side.
Do with this now.
And is instead of doing the usual like wizardly lessons, is telling him all about the ecology and every habit a crab could possibly have.
Yeah, Otto's been, meanwhile, he's listening, but he's also looking at Adel to make sure she gets the spider, and then he looks at
Apparently taking off too.
and says, am I good to try it now?
By all means.
Alright, Otto is going to look at the water beneath them and will cast Water Walk.
As you cast Water Walk, one of the pirates who is mopping the deck goes to dunk their mop in the mop bucket, which sprouts like away from it. As the pirate goes, what the hell?
Bloody hell.
Boy, get back here, bucket.
I guess it needs to be something that the water is in, so I guess it wouldn't work that way.
I just have the image of the bucket running around now in my head.
I guess it wouldn't really work with a bigger body of water. That's not how long that lasts.
So, Adel, what do you do now that you have a spider?
She's
Hiding in
observing
its-
the spider.
Uh-huh. What about the fish?
She'll place the fish on the deck.
Fish will begin to flop as it searches for water, and very quickly you see two of the spider's legs come out, snatching the fish and pulling it towards the mouth of the skull, where you presume the spider is feeding.
Fascinating. Isn't that just the most cute thing? He says, looking back to Julian.
Hubert is watching. The fish is flailing, trying to escape, and eventually stops moving, as Hubert goes quiet.
So I'm just holding a dead fish now.
No, it's on the deck.
Oh.
It is presently being eaten by the spider.
Oh, okay. Oh, whatever makes you happy, milady.
Spiders make me very happy. They are adorable little creatures.
I don't know what happened if I upcasted that spell. I was just talking to him, so.
I'm sorry. It's just the silence and the clacking just keeps making me giggle. Every time I'm going to say something.
I'm playing the part of the crab. Clackety clack clack clack.
Ugh.
Sorry.
So, I guess we have a new companion on the ship.
Yes.
Is your current companion not going to get jealous?
No, she says while taking Bertie out of her cape.
Our spider army forever grows.
Birdie will come out and wave.
See, Bertie is content. Isn't that right? She says while looking to Bertie.
Birdie will look up at you curiously.
Adel makes a very makes the highest pitched squeak noise you've ever heard her make.
After clearing the, doing the whole finger in the ear thing, Elvie kind of goes, "And what will you be naming your new spider friend?"
Blee.
Curious. I can't use my nature check from earlier. Can I make another one to determine if it's a male or female spider?
No.
Okay. Figured it was worth a shot to see. See.
Unfortunately you haven't had the side by side comparison, so it just looks like a spider. Because even in order to tell males and female spiders apart in real life, you have to have a male and female beside one another, because females are typically larger.
Jubilee's just kind of looking back between Birdie and Lee now. They're both girls? Question
She
mark.
looks to Bertie. I don't know.
Birdie looks up at you.
All I do know is that they are adorable.
Isn't Bertie intelligent?
Yes,
Can't you just ask what gender they are?
probably.
You're not going to, are you?
Nope.
And now there's a bigger one.
Oh,
No, that's Birdie.
Oh, okay. Your second spider's multiplying.
I have a
Bill.
question.
Okay.
Stupid question, Cam.
Uh-huh.
I have permanent tongues. Does
Okay.
that count? Does that count animal languages?
If animals have a spoken language, yes.
Okay.
Spiders don't speak.
Spiders don't. I guess it doesn't count as speaking, does it?
Spiders
No.
communicate
Unless
by
they-
tapping.
Unless they are awakened spiders, at which point they are magically granted the ability to speak, but it is usually the predominant language of the caster of Awaken.
Then would I be able
You need a
to
different
try
spell to
and
communicate.
would I be able to try and memorize the tippity tap spider Morse code?
If you could find someone who speaks tippity-tap spider Morse code, yes, they could teach you the language.
I can attempt to ask either Adel or Hubert. So
Adel and Hubert do not know the tippity-tap spider Morse code,
oh darn.
but there is someone on the boat who does.
Well,
I wonder who it could be.
just going to check if he's still around. Yep. Whoop.
No,
Excuse-
Charlie, you can't punch a fish.
Excuse me.
But look at the size of it, and it's rainbow colored. We don't mess with rainbow fish. And
That's a story
then
to unpack for later.
Obi turns and looks to you. Oh, hi. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine.
Apologies for interrupting your interesting conversation, but do you happen to know how to communicate with spider kind?
Oh yeah, my husband taught me.
Ah, wonderful. Could you perhaps teach me?
Maybe, but it'll take a while.
I suppose if you have time, I would be willing to learn.
Why do you ask?
Well, it seems your daughter has found another friend who is of the arachnid variety, and I find it interesting, and I would like to communicate with them to see if they are as good conversationalists as I expect.
In fact, she's found a spider, you say?
A second one, yes.
Second one?
Yes, she has two.
Really?
They are rather adorable.
Well, it's kind of funny that she has a fascination with spiders, considering the fact I don't think she's met my husband. He says and begins wandering over to go investigate.
Oh, and one of them is an aquatic spider that happens to have a skull on his shoulder. Or on his back, sorry.
Oh, well, I guess I'll have to take that one to Mickey at some point.
That is the name of your husband?
Yes.
Ah.
So, Adel, I hear you have... Oh, is that hops?
She pauses and looks over to Obitus.
There, he says, pointing to the mage spider who waves at Obi.
You know Bertie?
Yeah, I made him. His name's Hops. Well, I guess his name's Birdie now.
You made Bertie.
Yeah.
So you did send him to watch over me.
No, absolutely not. In fact, I didn't know he was here. He's not supposed to be here.
Oh.
Where is he supposed to be?
Supposed to be in Solaria. Obi says, looking to Birdie, as Birdie just looks back at him.
Oh, that's where I found him.
Okay, that makes sense.
Was he spying on my family? Now that I think about it.
I don't know what he was doing. He was supposed to stay home, he says, pointing at Birdie.
Well, I think we found him in my parents' house.
This also doesn't surprise me. Hops has a tendency to wander away from the house.
Okay, so he wasn't spying intentionally then.
In all honesty, he was probably killing every insect in the house.
My father probably missed doing that at some point.
But yeah, I made I made hops. I even made him his little staff in his little backpack.
How?
Well, I made the staff by whittling and the backpack with, by stitching it.
You must teach me this magic.
It's not magic, I did it by hand,
You
but
must
sure.
teach me this magic, she says again.
You have to wait in line. I gotta teach your friend here how to speak spider.
You can teach people how to speak spider?
Yeah, it's easy, watch. He says, and starts tapping the deck of the ship, and as he does, the crab in the skull slowly comes out and gets more comfortable to eat its prey.
What did you say to him?
I told him that everything's fine and we aren't going to hurt him.
Oh, you mean like this? LB is going to attempt to do the same thing.
Roll sleight of hand.
Okay. And your slide.
Seems like the bigger one's a bit of a shy guy, huh?
And your slide.
You tap a bit and Ovi looks over at you and say, close.
That was my first attempt.
Your dialect's slightly off, but you got the right idea.
Perhaps I didn't tap hard enough.
But yeah, I gotta teach your friend how to speak spider. Then I can teach you how to make spider accessories.
I mean, why don't you look at Adel? Yeah, why don't you just join them on their lessons so you both can learn how to speak spider?
I am going to do that.
Well, I guess I know what we're doing. So we have to go make sure we're near Charlie because he's trying to go punch a rainbow fish.
Why can't he punch a fish? Says Beastie.
We don't punch rainbow fish.
Why?
But
So, I believe he told you not to punch a rainbow fish.
Obi looks at you, Beastie, and says, "Do you know what sleep tastes like?"
Yes, like horseradish.
Good job, he says, and then
The fact that
promptly,
she has an answer for it.
and promptly walks away, expecting Adel and Elvie to follow.
Beastie will pick up Bertie and will attempt to pick up the crab spider.
Beastie?
Bertie, not Beastie.
No, you said Beastie will attempt to pick up.
Sorry,
Adel will
Adel
attempt
will
to pick
attempt to
up
pick
the
up Beastie
spiders.
and the spider.
As you move toward the skull spider,
Bertie!
it instinctively hides in its shell.
She'll pick.
Seems like even though it's comfortable, it's a lot more shy.
Yep. We'll put Bertie in her cape pocket. We'll leave Bertie, the crab. I think Blee, right. We'll leave Blee to eating.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to show this art that I've just seen because
Alright, waiting and shit posting.
What in the seven hells is that?
so I'm looking at this.
Something that probably belongs in the other shit posting.
So I'm looking at this, and everything about it is intimidating, except for the fact that they gave it such a high definition ass for no reason.
You know the reason.
Again, I think that belongs in the other shit posting place.
Well, this is where it's going.
So, how crude.
It attracts prey.
With the hypnotic.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's like an anglerfish with an ass.
Yes. What was it that high school, that prison high school anime said? That asses were designed to attract the eyes. Once it Predators just took note of that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like, either that's or Jujutsu Kaisen. I was like,
Yeah, I guess Jujutsu Kaisen is technically a, a high school anime.
I forget. No, it was boobs were developed to mimic the ass because the ass was human evolution to attract mates.
That's a quote.
Yes.
Alright, now that that distraction's out of the way. So I need Adel, Sarday, and Elvie to roll intelligence checks to see how well you learn the spider language. Matt?
Yeah, it's a BRB.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Well, Adel, you are... you're trying your best, but you can tell this is not going to be easy to comprehend.
Adel seems Adel seems a little frustrated, but she also seems understanding. Like, it'll be worth it, no matter how hard it will be to understand.
Jubilee, what are you going to do while the lessons are going on?
Merely observe and keep an ear open, as I do not have an order. What about you, Jay? Oh. Go ahead.
Beastie will still expect Hubert to train her.
Are you done doing squats?
She has been doing that to warm up since he didn't train her yet. So yes, I guess once he's going off, she'll be like, hey, it's time to train.
You are already training.
Not your training.
Now you're just being greedy.
Yes.
That's not very ladylike.
I'm a goblin, not a lady.
You're a lady goblin.
So, train me. This lady goblin wants to be trained.
Will you admit you're a lady?
Whatever, train me.
Roll athletics.
Jesus Christ.
And as you rush him, Hubert, in a surprising bout of strength, grabs you by your throat and chokeslams you onto the deck. Well, that was easy. Good training with you, Beastie, he says, and wanders off.
At one point, Thor will come back onto the deck of the ship and just sort of find a quiet spot and sit down.
I need an intelligence check from Elvie.
Just flat intelligence check?
Yep. We're gonna see how well you learn Spooder.
Probably takes a while.
You have found that it is surprisingly more difficult than you were originally anticipating.
Yes.
Well, while this is happening, can all try to see if we can pick up on any of this while he's just like lurking behind them?
Into
Alright.
420.
Are you actively going to try to learn it?
Yes.
In that case, you feel a hand grip you by your head and slowly pull you over and make you sit down, as if you're going to learn, Professor Obi is going to make you listen. But yes, by all means, go ahead and roll.
Wow.
Difficult, isn't it?
Otto, you just see him tapping his fingers a lot.
See, his eyes start to go wide as he's going to. Yes, I'm using it for this. Is going to lock in and use a luck point.
Okay.
I hate this game sometimes.
Good job.
Way to lock in, bro.
I'm gonna lock you in 2 point higher. His eyes widen, and he still kinda only sort of gets it.
Meanwhile, George is just going to be. At this point, he's leaning up against the thing and just staring down at the compass to make sure. Just keeping, I guess, keeping concentration on where it's going to point. If we
Did you
need to
take
turn.
it? Okay, yeah, you are the last one to have it, so it has not moved. It is still pointing the same direction.
Okay. We'll just check it every now and again, just to make sure.
Alright. Where did it go? There he is. Because your dwarven friend is following
That's fine. Thorgrim's mood has noticeably changed from the 1,000-yard stare to actual frustration.
you. The hell's eating you?
I had an entire barrel of alcohol. I had multiple buckets of alcohol. And do you want to know how drunk I am?
I mean, considering the fact you drank basically water, probably not at all.
I don't even feel a tingle. Something stronger than this damn boat. Because one thing I remembered about this most recent level, Thorgrim is now immune to poison.
Yeah, I can let you. I'm gonna for your sake say you can turn that on and off with alcohol.
Okay, he probably hasn't figured that out yet. So yeah, sour dwarf mode.
Yeah, as you sit there brooding for a while, he just watches you for a minute before just smacking you in the back of the head.
Fuck.
Get over yourself.
Fuck off.
No. Are you gonna sit here brooding the entire time, or are you gonna actually enjoy what we're doing?
Let's see what's there to enjoy. And we're
Well-
going to a fucking island with a fucking ghost pirate, and last time I was in the fucking water, my ghost of my dead wife showed up.
Oh, what's there not to enjoy? The sun on your face, the wind in your hair, the fresh smell of water in your nose. You're right. It's bloody dreadful.
Water up the nose. Ugh.
You haven't even gotten near the water. You can't use that excuse.
The salt spray. Ugh. Ugh. It's not that I hate the water itself. It's just open water.
Lord Rim,
Yeah.
did I ever tell you the story about the first time I tried to lift weights?
No, I don't think you did.
Did you die? Asked Beastie.
No, first time I tried to lift weights was during the time I first wanted to train to be in the army for Haven, and I tried to lift it. Didn't budge at first. Used 2 hands. Managed to get it up to my chest, and I didn't know how to balance myself at the time, so I fell backwards, and the weight was just stuck on me for about 30 minutes.
Well, I mean, you are more of a dexterity type person, you know.
Yeah, it's more or less of a, it was quite interesting, but my mom kind of just sat there and watched me for 30 minutes and told me to figure it out myself.
Yeah, that sounds like her. Yeah. I wouldn't say she's got a heavy hand, but she definitely has more of a... How do I want to put this? She doesn't coddle you.
Yeah, I'd say coddling would be a good way to put it.
Yeah, she's not someone like, oh, my dear baby boy. No, that ain't her. And again, you know, being the head of an entire country and a super powerful archangel lady, I guess that would change things a bit.
Yeah, good, but more or less she's just protective.
As moms should be. I know my wife was protective of the kids when they came out. Super protective. Oh, jeez.
How so? You don't mind me asking?
Well, you know, typical mama bear, you know, always making sure they don't get hurt, always making sure they, you know, eat their greens, grow up big and strong, blah, 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 you know. Very watchful, very, you know, typical mom stuff, you know?
Okay, I guess I'll rephrase it. What was the most protective thing that she's done? That she did?
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say she's outright attacked anyone. You know, that's usually my job, but, probably when we were going on a bit of a family walk and one of the kids, well, let's just say in their youth they were pretty difficult to keep track of sometimes. And one day we found one of them had wandered a little bit too far and had wandered near one of the digging pits and was about to fall in. That wasn't particularly right, but thankfully, thanks to a very well timed baseball slide and good old snatch of the hand, the baby was saved, and yeah, that was one of the many cool things that Amber did. You know, she was pretty damn cool.
Glad you have so many fond memories of her.
Yeah, I got plenty. We were together for, you know, about a century, so there's a lot of it. A lot of memories, good, bad, kind of weird, really weird, but yeah, you know, that's life. And he just sort of leans back. his shoulders against the edge of the railing of the ship. What about your mom? Do you have any fond memories of growing up with her?
I think it was the first time most fond one was the first time she brought me to one of the council meetings, and I believe I was only 12 at the time, and while I was there, she brought me a drink, and as I was sitting there, I was roaming around, and I ended up tripping over one of the chairs, and somehow the drink ended up spilling all over the table that they were talking at.
That's funny.
Yeah, but the drink itself spilled on Barbiel.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, for the first time I think that was the first time I saw him have a different facial expression than just blank.
Was he, what, shocked? Was he pissed off?
It was kind of like one of those, I guess, annoyed smiles you think some adults have to try to make it not look like they're mad.
Oh, okay. The it's fine smile.
Exactly, the "it's fine" smile is what he did, and I believe that's one of the first time I ever heard my mom laugh at that. So 'cause I don't think she's ever seen a drink get spilled on Barbiel.
That is kind of funny. Yeah. Just imagine that big armored winged fella. Just a look of what the fuck just happened.
Yeah. Then there was the time she first introduced me to ambrosia, and that was yeah, that was a time.
Man, that shit looks real sweet. I don't know.
Yeah, I when I first ate it, I ended up eating like 20 helpings of it, and I
Jesus.
fell into what you would only be able to call a food coma for about 16 hours.
Oh, wow. I mean, I've had food comas before, but not that big. Wow.
It was like I was just asleep. I think at that point I was just not really moving and was kind of just sitting down the whole time.
Huh. It's kind of funny, actually, now that I think about it. I've never seen you, like, like, really high on sugar or something. Which is weird considering how much you really like that ambrosia stuff.
So after that, I only ate it like once a week,
That
and
still sounds like a lot.
it's not that bad. That was during the time I started working out more as well, because my mom said if you're gonna like sweet foods, you need to counteract it by also being able to, keep your body healthy.
I mean, she ain't wrong. You gotta work off those calories.
Exactly, which is why she prompted me to start working out. She realized that weights weren't really my thing, so she taught me more of how to keep myself agile.
Yep. Gotta go on runs, do those stretches, all things like that,
Yep,
Yeah, cardio training.
yep. Well, see, I'd rather not be on a sugar high, so was that? Yeah, that wasn't really the best time. I get very, what's the word I'm looking for? Hyperactive when I'm on a sugar high.
I mean, that's what sugar does. That's kind of the point. That's why you avoid sugar highs. Then you go on that sugar crash and you end up falling unconscious and just going to sleep for apparently 16 hours.
What was weird is I don't think it was a state of sleep. I think I was just in a trance from the sugar crash.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, I guess. That makes me wonder. How would an elf deal with a sugar crash?
I'd assume they'd go into meditation in like a weird. Maybe they move during meditation if they're on like a sugar crash. Like their body works it off themselves.
Huh. And if I was anybody else, I'd probably try and engineer this, but I don't think I want to piss either of them off, honestly. Oh well. Guess that's gonna be something I'm gonna be thinking about forever.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't feel like giving either of them a bunch of sugar. You know, I don't want to have any consequences of breathing, you know, a bunch of angry spellcasters or an angry, you know, stabby stab guy breathing down my neck just because I gave him a bunch of sugar.
You probably could have asked them yourself if they might have already had that experience before.
I guess. I guess at some point. Not really. They seem kind of busy right now, so I'll just wait.
Me once gave Panther sugar.
Oh God.
Beastie will roll onto her belly and then will move her cape aside, and you will see a multitude of stat marks. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was expecting bite marks, honestly.
These are bite marks.
Wow. Okay. I thought he went stabby, not bite. Did he do both?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Note to self, don't give Panther sugar.
Oh no, Panther gets sugar when he does good. And she sits up.
Okay.
No, Sinclair, well, she says I should not get sugar, which me no get.
No, you definitely shouldn't.
Why? Sugar tastes nice.
And Claire undoubtedly keeps both of you from getting sugar.
Oh, 100%. She's the responsible one out of the three. I do not want to think about you on a sugar high.
Beastie will lean back and then kip up to her feet. But like, silly dwarf. When me eat sugar, me act as same as I always do. Only everything moves very slowly for some reason.
That's exactly. You know what? Never mind.
You know what's it like when the world moves in slow motion?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's when people over there start casting that haste spell on me. That shit is ugh. Still gives me the willies.
Never happened to me.
I mean, you could ask them if you.
They have sugar?
Well, the haste spell is kind of like being on a sugar high, and also kind of like the sugar crash, if, you know, it wears off. Yeah, it's kind of like sugar. Magical sugar.
Magic sugar?
Kinda. Huh.
That good sugar.
That's sweet, sweet sugar.
Magic sugar is called cocaine, my friends, Ricardo says, having eavesdropped the entire time.
You and your cat ears. Anyway, yeah, no, I was thinking more, the haste spell is kind of like a big sugar high followed by a sugar crash.
I suppose.
Yeah, kinda. Only, you know, without cookies or cakes or anything. It's just, you know, the rush and then the slow.
George was trying to sell something called meth once.
For you, he says, giving you a thumbs up.
Thanks.
Since when were you gonna... Ugh, never mind.
When was I gonna what?
I don't need to know one of my friends was thinking about being a meth dealer.
Wasn't
I
thinking.
already sold it to some people.
Oh, so you are a meth dealer.
wasn't meth, I don't think.
It was.
I guess it was.
Great.
The thing is, it's off my hands now, so.
You know, get what the problem is.
Of course you would.
Well, Montague, what would you think about the son of an angel selling drugs?
Ironic.
He'll just motion to Montague like, see?
She
Well,
looks.
I mean,
It's
it
a
very much
gun
is
back to
ironic.
George. You put metal in your drugs?
George will just
How ironic
face
that,
palm.
how ironic that she doesn't understand what irony is.
Hey, here's a way to fuck someone up. Define irony.
No.
The irony is that everyone knows what it is, but they can't define it. Thankfully, dictionaries are able to. But
Yes.
without a dictionary, you're shit out of luck.
Well, without a dictionary, I can't define most things.
Yes, but can you define what other instance will you know something like 100% you know what it is, but you cannot define it for the life of you?
Lots of things.
I guess it's just me then.
Me when I forget the definition of most words, or the words in general.
I just forget the words. I don't remember their definitions all. Like, fuck definitions. I just forget the word exists completely.
Yeah, same.
Alright. Well, he's just gonna... is done with doing squats and training, so she's gonna head up to the lookout to go see what's out there.
He's going where now?
To the lookout to see what she can see.
Water. And seagull.
Very wet. Then she pauses and looks over at Hoppy. Actually, is it wet?
Yes, water is wet.
Water is wet?
Correct.
But doesn't it have to be covered in water to be wet?
Water is covered in water.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yay, the paradox has been solved.
Doesn't it have to be covered in water? It is covered in water. Motions to the water.
But what about the water on top of the water? Is that wet?
Yes.
But it's not covered in water.
Yes, it is.
The water is under. But then I guess it is wet from below. Okay.
And around this time, the language lesson will be coming to an end.
I didn't know that spiders could speak in so many dialects.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't they be able to?
I'm not sure. I guess I just didn't expect it.
Nobody expected the Spider Inquisition.
There's a spider inquisition, she says.
Possibly.
Tell me more of this spider inquisition.
I will if I find one that exists.
And she can't tell you about it because then you'll expect it. It'll never come.
I'm just imagining the whole Monty Python scene with just a bunch of spiders.
Thank you for the lesson, Dad.
Of course.
And she'll put Birdsie in her cape pocket and will look down at Blee.
Blee is kind of, sort of peeking its head out of, or peeking its eyes out of its shell.
Dad, how do I say... Wait, hold on. And she will try and tap hello.
Roll sleight of hand.
Oh boy.
You tap what you believe to be hello, and it taps back.
How can I safely carry her around? I guess for the time being I'll leave you on the ship, and then I'll come and get you once it's time to leave permanently. Jubilee,
Yes, my lady.
fetch me another fish, please.
As you wish.
My lady, you shouldn't overfeed it.
Oh, that's right. Cancel that, Jubilee.
You must remember spiders don't need to eat very often.
Yes, but how do I let it know that I care for it and I love it and I want to give it a hug?
By telling it, now that you learned its dialect?
I don't know that much. She will try to say, I care for you and I want to protect you in Spider.
You have not reached that portion of the language
That's a
yet.
very complex thing.
Alright. Dad, please let Blee know that I care for it and I want to protect her.
Why don't you just pick it up? Obi says, motioning to it.
She will gently try to pick up Blee.
Roll animal handling.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Oh no.
I use... Has it been the same day since before?
You can use a luck point. You haven't used them all yet.
Ethan switched to
Okay. Yeah, I'll use a luck point.
Yay.
I believe you got this.
No, you don't.
Am I allowed to use one of my portals?
You are allowed to use one of your portals.
Fine.
Okay. I'm assuming it's one of the ones that from
Yeah.
earlier today. I'll have to go find that.
Use an inspiration while you're at it too. Let's not traumatize Adel on a simple trip.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was fucking double 12s. Okay.
So you give her one of the 12, so it becomes a 14, and then she can roll a d10 because my inspiration.
Do you roll a Do you roll the d10, Phenom?
Yes. Jesus.
So you rolled a
24.
22 on or 24 on animal handling.
24.
So you reach down and Blee seems relaxed, doesn't panic as you slowly pick it up, but it does go into its shell to allow you an easier time with it.
Double crit fails. Let's fucking go.
Mother of mercy, it took me like, what, the power of fate itself changing twice. And
being super unlucky.
yes. Alright. Ella's going to look at herself and try and figure out where she can safely place Blee. She will then place Blee in another cape pocket.
Okay.
Alright. And she nods. Alright. They'll be able to go out and hunt on their leisure.
one a little bit better than the other one. Ovi says to this.
I will need to get a bigger cape pockets than for Blee. They are a little hefty. Or I could get them a smaller shell. One more comfortable. Maybe Agam? No. He's a metalsmith. He probably knows nothing about... He probably knows. Yes, I'll ask D. After collecting her new pet, Nuns returns looking out to sea.
Alright.
What, she gonna see another one?
The last time I looked out to sea, I saw a spider.
Maybe I'll
Clearly,
see
I need
another
to
one.
do this again.
Yes, she'll look down. Are there any more spiders?
No.
She lets out a disappointed noise, and will look out.
And all be winners, my lady.
Unfortunately.
Given the fact that its environment is the ocean, I highly doubt that it makes any silk.
Yes. Unlikely.
Makes you wonder what does it make then?
Nothing, probably. Except for hunting decisions. Or perhaps it is venomous.
All spiders are venomous, my lady.
Really?
It's merely their venoms are sometimes not potent enough to bother us.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yes. They are venomous because their venom paralyzes their prey and allows them ease of access to heat.
In which case, yes, they make venom.
After a while, it seems kind of like LV is trying to resist her. Like, it almost like, you know when you're microwaving a bag of popcorn, the popcorn, like, bag as it puffs up, it starts to shake a little before it pops.
Yeah.
LV's starting to, like, get that moment of, like she's starting to almost vibrate and shake a little bit. Like she's trying to resist doing something. And eventually, it gets to the point where she just starts randomly blurting out, not blurting out, but like starts reciting an entire encyclopedic entry on spiders, just everything about them.
Huh.
Yeah. Spiders, Order Araniae, are air-breathing orthopods that have 8 limbs, Chelicerae with fangs, generally able to inject venom, and spinnerets that extrude silk. They are the largest order of arachnids and are ranked 7th in total species diversity among all orders of organisms. Spiders are found worldwide on every continent except for one, and have been established in nearly every land habitat. As of insert date here, 52,309 spider species and 134 families have been recorded by taxonomists. However, there has been a debate among scientists about how families should be classified, with over 20 different classifications proposed since the last 100 years or so. And she just keeps going.
Hell will not interrupt her.
You know what? Speaking of spiders, one of my favorite tidbits of information came out to me the other day, and recently Australia discovered a new species of spider.
And if anywhere's going to discover it.
And not only did they discover a new species of spider, it was a different species of the most dangerous spider in the world. And its bite can bite through shoe leather, apparently, and can kill you in about 30 minutes, if not shorter than that.
I remember hearing about that.
Yes, I sent you the video. And not only that, but the new species is about twice the size of the original species they discovered. And a scientist from Australia gave it the name the Newcastle Big Boy.
Big boy!
Excellent.
So, there is a gigantic, world's most dangerous spider, the Big Boy. So, around this time, the sun is beginning to slowly set.
Oh, look up to the sky. It's just time for us to turn in.
The beds are below deck, my friends.
Alright. So, she starts to start going below deck.
LV will look to both Captain Rodriguez and Undine, and we'll both say, and we'll say, good night to you both.
Have a pleasant evening.
I shall. And then we'll look to Rodriguez's 2 kids and say, to you as well.
I hope you have the most pleasant dreams, Ricardo says, with a smile, and he winks to you.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. And then
I'm aware elves don't have the traditional sleep, but I assume you dream in your meditation.
absolutely. Oh, the things that I've seen, let me tell you. And she just sort of, as she walks by, sort of grins mischievously.
Well, perhaps you will be able to tell me of these things at some point during your travels.
Oh, I suppose I could find some time.
Marvelous. It's a date.
Indeed. And Thorgrim kind of just like watches this whole exchange going, okay, wow.
I did not take Lagoon Hollow to be a flirtatious person, but here we are.
There are many things you don't know about me, Lady Adelsarde.
Apparently you had more... There is more to your rebellious teen phase than I at first expected.
I am more than 400 years old, you know.
Ah, that's not that old at all.
Old enough to have plenty of experience.
And young enough to have plenty more.
Indeed. Wink, wink.
I'm not flirting with you, by the way.
I know. I just thought it would be funny.
Poppy, you can come down now.
Poppy will then slowly begin climbing down.
Just hop away from him, and then we'll both make the way below deck.
Gather together all of the characters who are going to bed.
It does often go. You tired?
Fairly certain. He looks to you and shrugs and says, I guess.
Yeah. As we catch some of these.
I will need to know which side of the half of the boat you're going down, left or right.
You mean up or down?
No,
Well,
because there's only one down below deck. I need to know if you're going below deck on the right side or the left side.
is this the left side?
The side you're standing on is the left side.
I guess yeah, we'll go down the left side.
Yeah, we left through.
I suppose if everyone is going left, I shall also. Sam?
And I will not hear any complaints about the size of the deck. It is very difficult to get proper sizing on Roll20. You guys will be living with like tiny people in a giant's world, and I will hear no complaints.
Eastie will do her usual sleeping like a horse up on the top.
She is going to find this very difficult because she can't stand still on a boat.
Oh shit. That's a good
Remember,
point.
but boats are constantly swaying, so
She is going to take a seat.
you're going to be sliding across the deck if you do that, and you will be at risk of falling overboard. Especially since you're in the crow's nest.
There is a very smart solution to this, but that is not what BC's gonna do. Instead, she's gonna do the dumb solution, which is to tie a rope around her waist, tie it to the banister, and then we'll go back to sitting.
The pirate who is on the crow's nest with you looks to you and says, "Why did you tie a rope around your neck?"
What? I said the waist, not the neck. Oh my god! No,
What?
Jesus!
Wow.
Good lord!
What I miss? What?
I misheard him say neck.
Jesus!
Or what?
Hey, you
Tie-
said the dumb solution, so I guess I was
This
automatically
was the
hearing
dumb solution. The smart solution is to get the fuck down from there.
Anyway, the pirate just looks to you and goes, "Are you about to sleep?
Yeah.
You have to go below deck to sleep.
Why?
Them's the rules."
Oh yeah? And she stands. Whose rules?
She points down towards Rodriguez.
He looks to Rodriguez. Hey,
Yes?
let me sleep up here.
No.
Why?
You are at risk of falling overboard if you do not sleep below deck.
But I tied myself with a rope.
My hive, my rules.
Stupid.
Mumble, mumble, mumble. Stupid, smart people mumble, mumble.
Yeah. She.
It's not very often that people can use beastie logic successfully against her.
Yep.
I hate it when he's right.
Exactly. Wait, where's Duck?
Quack,
You left him up. You left him up top.
No!
quack.
You still take him.
I actually don't know why he didn't come with you because I copy pasted everyone. There you go.
Yay.
Hooray.
And for simplicity's sake, we're going to say this is the staircase upstairs.
Okay. Spare room.
Does this room belong to anyone that Adel is in?
Yeah, to whoever claims it.
Claimsies.
George was technically there first.
Dibs.
Sorry, I didn't realize. I thought there was one room for a moment. That's my bad.
Does North go anywhere? No, he didn't.
He's just standing around.
Okay. Nope. I want to take one at a time. Come on. Let's go. Is there any place with 2 beds that hasn't already been taken?
No.
The
I'll
only-
send it.
The only place that appears to have 2 beds is the room full of hammocks, and a few pirates seem to be getting up for the day and leaving 4 hammocks available.
Oh, sweet. Zoom out again.
But there is no room that has multiple beds,
Shit.
except for the hammock room.
Okay, well, 4 room's gonna hammock. And then Ellie, I suppose, will take this room. Very cushy big bed.
Paul's gonna take room in top right and just tell Poppy to keep an eye out outside the door.
And Elvie takes the room with the cushy 2-person bed.
Indeed.
In case
I had to have room for Gladstone.
she has a visitor.
Wow. Oh, he still sits against the wall.
As you sit against the wall, you slowly slide across the floor as you realize that even though you're below deck, you're still shifting.
She grumbles, stands, attempts to sit in a hammock, and proceeds to eat shit.
The dwarf looks at you. What the hell's your problem?
What kind of bed is this?
It's a hammock.
I smell no pork in this thing.
Hammock.
And once again she tries, only now she is tangled amongst it.
Close enough, he says. just slowly pushes his beard over his eyes.
She makes more goblin grumbling noises.
Can Otto hear these goblin grumbling noises?
No.
Okay.
Why don't you just go take one of the available rooms?
She looks up at him from inside the hammock. I can't move.
He just sighs, gets out, pulls you from the hammock, and sets you on your feet before getting back into his.
She nods and thanks, and then we'll go to one of the rooms and sit on the bed.
I don't think I've met anyone who has a negative IQ.
There's first time for everything, I guess. Yeah, I can't really explain it myself. Kind of just have to live with it, though, you know, 'cause she ain't going anywhere. Yeah.
Seems that way. Is anybody doing anything before the end of the night?
Elvie would like to at least attempt to, as she's beginning her trance, sort of just do the typical thanks to her homebrew and see if she can gauge any sort of, you know, probably not a full communal, because, you know, she doesn't know the spell, but just want to do a little bit of check-in, see if, you know, I'm still being a good servant.
Well, you are fully aware that he cannot communicate with you particularly efficiently any longer. But you have a feeling that he is listening to you.
Okay, well, she's just going to send the feelings of gratitude and into the ether, I guess, to sort of give thanks and be, you know, basically just sort of, there's a word I'm trying to look for, but it's not there. Just, yeah. Trying to be thankful. Yeah. Reverent is the word I was looking for.
Alright. Anyone else?
I'll send a sentence over to say, good night, Dad.
Could have told me this before you went to bed.
I coulda, but I didn't.
Hey, thanks for watching the video until the end. If you want to see more of my stuff, click on either the vids on screen or check out my YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and check the description for more places to follow me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you.